I like to call up, he's quite a character. Even though he says, I'm funny. Like the first time I met him, it was at, what was it? ALA last year.
Yeah. That was the only show I've ever seen.
Yeah, ALA's like, I don't think I can do this, man. I just no. And who would have thought he pulled out in first place at Clash of the Comics? Please, ladies and gentlemen, our last comic for tonight. Make some noise for Mr. Jason Dallas.
That shit great. Walk of flame.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, that was good.
Hey everybody, having fun at Big Lots in Tokyo, Santa's List. Yeah. Wait, this is the end of the night. Get hype. Get hype. Yeah. When I first heard the title for this show, I didn't really want to do it, not because like everybody on the list was great and gonna make me look like an asshole, or because I hate Danny secretly. But I don't think Santa should ever get a Death Note list because Santa's a douchebag. So like, and I'm gonna prove it. Okay, remember when you were making posters and you decided to copyright a picture from the internet and had a Santa Claus hat and you knew it was illegal? Santa didn't call you on that at all, and you're probably gonna get like fresh shoes for Christmas. And remember when you were playing The Sims, but you didn't want to have to get them jobs, and you were like putting the motherload like code, and you had everything for free, and they never had to work? Santa's not gonna call you on that. But when I was 7, I fell off a roof, and that nigga didn't get me shit. Like I fell off and broke my leg, and I went all the way back into my house. And I had to wait there for 3 hours for my parents to get home so they could take me to the hospital. And he didn't get me a Band-Aid or an elf with a cast or life insurance. He didn't give me nothing. So it's Christmas and we got early Christmas gifts because my AT&T phone plan with the devil ran out. And we got new plans and everybody got new phones. And my mom got this iPhone 4S. And she doesn't know what to do with it at all. Like, she turned it on and she was pressing buttons and she hit a button, it was serious, and she was like, you don't have to poke the button for me to talk to you. And she was like, bitch, shut up, I don't want this. Like, she didn't want her phone talking to her. But my little niece knows everything about the phone, right? And she was like, oh, what you have to do is, you have to take it and plug it in, and then the battery fairy comes at night and gives it a magical full battery and everything works. And I was like, fuck? Like, what the fuck is a battery fairy? Like, I'd never heard of this shit. So I was like, oh, is that anything like the Tooth Fairy? And she was like, what the fuck is Tooth Fairy? And I was like, this 4-year-old little girl has no idea what a Tooth Fairy is. So I was like, okay. So the Tooth Fairy, when you lose a tooth, you put it under your pillow, and she comes at night, and she takes your tooth, and she leaves you like $1 or something, depending on what it is. And she was like, who would want my teeth? And I was like, bitch, shut up. She gave me the look like I was crazy because I believe that a Tooth Fairy wants my tooth, but she thinks magical gnomes come and charge batteries. Like, that's fucking science. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. So she had it plugged in, and then like in the middle of the night I came and I unplugged it, and then she ran up in there and she was like, oh no, it didn't get charged, what happened? I was like, Tooth Fairy, like you talking shit. That's just what it is. But like, kids grow up so different. I remember when I was little, you only got like one present, and like you would get like something you really wanted, like the Tonka trunk or the race car track with the animated heads that didn't really happen when you got the package. You'd be all pissed off. These little kids now get like iTouches and iPhones for Angry Birds, and they know how to use all the shit. Like they know how to press the buttons and hold it. And I was like, who teaches you this? And she was like, oh, it's common sense. And I was like, that's not common sense because I don't know how to do it, and I'm older than you. And she was like, maybe you just dumb. And I was like, maybe you just stupid. And I like to have like retard contests with like the little kids because I like to prove that I'm smarter than them. So what I'll do is, I was like, okay, because we only have $5, they tell me to take all of them out. I was like, whoever can spin around the longest and not fall down and throw up can have a Happy Meal. And I bought the Happy Meal and everything. So these little kids are running around and spinning, and they all fall down and throw up, and I ate the Happy Meal because I thought that'd be a waste of money. And I just became like the best uncle in the world because they got like 3 chicken nuggets at the end. Because that's what I want to aspire to be, a good person. What I'm a good person on the inside. Like there's this, and then there's like the I'm insecure, and then there's the good person. But who I really want to be is LeVar Burton. Yeah. Not real life LeVar Burton, because he's probably at home doing nothing and watching TV. I want to be TV LeVar Burton, like, because LeVar Burton had the best career in the world. He started out as a slave, and he worked his way up to learn English. They didn't like that, so they took his feet, but he grew them back, and then he taught kids how to read, which was the only thing he had ever learned that entire time on Roots. And then, but he knew too much, and the white man had to keep him down, so they took his eyes, right? But he's the only one who knew all the manuals, so they sent him to space. And that cool little laser. LeVar Burton has single-handedly survived all of time. Oh man, what are my other jokes? I knew this was gonna happen. I told you guys on Facebook, Danny knows. I was like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna fraud out and I'm gonna think of what's my last joke. And the last joke's gonna be Steve Jobs, and they're gonna be like, it was only a 5-minute set, but I'm gonna tell the joke anyway and get off. All right. Yeah, that was the headliner, so it's gonna be short and sweet. So Steve Jobs. Who was sad when Steve Jobs passed away?
Nobody.
One person.
Sorry, come on.
Yeah. I didn't believe it when Steve Jobs passed away. Because I was like, Apple products don't get viruses. So then I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, did anybody try pressing power at home and see if you reboot? But no one has to worry about Steve Jobs ever becoming like a zombie or anything, because outside his funeral, his casket was slide to open. So we're safe. Y'all are mean for laughing. All right. Y'all are mean people. But like I heard that right at the end, Steve Jobs sold the rights to his body off to who's the guy who owns Microsoft? Bill Gates. What? Bill Gates. Yeah, because Microsoft's gonna come up with a new product called the iUnlive. For other times you can't be on. I like you guys. You guys are mean. What's some other mean stuff? Just because that's what you guys like. So, have you ever seen an old lady crossing the street and trip her just to see if traffic stops? I kid you not. There was this old bitch. She had like a walker and a full thing of groceries, and she was gonna catch the bus on the other side. And I felt bad for her. And then this little kid like tried to trip her, and then she kicked him. And the little kid was like, "Mom, that old bitch kicked me!" And the old bitch was like, boom! It just hit him with the walker, and that was the funniest thing in the world. What's some other mean shit to have? I like that Matt has a Santa Claus hat on.
What the hell am I the man?
No, you came here with that Santa Claus hat. You knew it was gonna come.
It's Santa's list. Am I the only one that has holiday spirit?
Yes. Black people can't wear Santa Claus hats because then they think Santa's black, breaking in their houses. And no one likes that. He sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows if you're awake. So that time that you were at the laundromat and that one sock came up missing, that shit was Santa just fucking with you the whole year round. He was taking the one sock and the controller and putting it under the couch, and he makes it so that your TV comes in SAP when you first turn it on, because no one knows how to read the instructions. That's some Santa Claus shit. Also, I think Santa Claus is a bad person also because he's the only one I know that hires Mexican children and like small Asians to make all the toys. Fuck that shit. We don't have like real elves. There are full-grown Mexican men and Chinese children. And that's the only people that fit in them tiny ass suits. And the angriest kid ever on Christmas is little Xing Lao. Because he sits there all day putting heads on Barbies and shit, and he don't get to play with not a damn one. Like he's sitting that off like, I hope some little Indian kid gets this, and he dies of lead poisoning. And then I hope his family, his mom has a cow, and then the cow dies and hurts his whole family forever. That's mean, I don't get shit for Christmas stuff. You laugh the hardest because you know. So no one knows, that's my friend Justin. And for Christmas, he got to not have to owe anyone money. And that is the worst gift anyone could ever give you. Like, when you get older, getting out of debt is a dream. But when you are the age of 20, getting out of debt should be like a thing you do on the weekends. Like I got paid, let me chip this back into my friend who drove me down the street to my band concert. He plays in a band called Last Ditch Effort. And I found that the best title in the world because that means if he fails, he called it at the beginning.
God, man.
Like,
I know when you lip puto.
And he likes Final Fantasy. So it's like, he was like, Nishimoto's fucking brilliant. He was like, if this shit fails, it'll be the Final Fantasy and everybody will think he's a genius. And if my shit fails, it'll be a last ditch effort and I'll just be broke. And I really commend that honesty.
I'm going home.
I want to shout out to my small lesbian friend Yasi. I knew she was lesbian because she's really short, and so whenever girls pass by, it's hard for her to like do the look down. She just has to do the look up. I caught it. I remember.
It's true.
It is true. I remember she was working at Victoria's Secret, and she told me that the worst thing ever is that like there are old women. And I pictured that, and it was horrible for me picturing it because all I saw was you having to measure someone's breast cup and having like old nipple on your forehead. Like, ma'am, can you roll it? Roll it. We're gonna put it in and just strap it to the back. All right, I'm getting the red light, which means I'm survived to the end. You guys were great for laughing. Have a safe night home. If you're gonna drink, don't do it while you drive, or else it's illegal. Drinking and driving, not drinking or driving.
Drink while I drive.